Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, longtime astrologer, psychic healer, and yogi. Welcome to the episode, Crypto Post Ecliptic. We're back talking about cryptocurrency after the eclipses of April and May of 2022. In this episode, I'll make astrological sense of the crazy crypto markets during June through October 2022. My guest is Crypto Clairvoyant SL369. Stay tuned until the end of the episode when I give predictions for certain crypto coins based on their astrological charts, including key dates. Welcome to the episode Cryptic Post Ecliptic. I really like saying that. I made up that name. But before I begin the episode, I have some exciting news. I am a co-author in a book entitled Overcoming Mediocrity, Limitless Women. Here is a link to download a free copy for yourself. Small case B as in boy, it.ly/capital O, M as in Mary, LW11. In the book, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, shares her journey navigating the mundane and spiritual worlds. She recounts her vivid near-death experiences, NDEs, which contributed to her awakening to pursue her soul calling in this life. Jill's unusual path, forged with her traditional advanced education combined with healing certifications and spiritual initiations, prepared her for working with counseling clients and as a teacher in the self-actualization movement. Jill facilitates her clients with various modalities and in unique ways so they evolve into their own soul powers and become self-actualized and empowered. Get your free copy at lowercase bit.ly/capital OMLW11. Welcome to the episode on cryptocurrency post-eclipses of spring 2022. Many of my cryptocurrency listeners have been requesting a podcast on crypto for the past weeks. I want to remind listeners that I am a professional astrologer of over 30 years. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. Any information I share is strictly for astrological analysis and entertainment purposes. I do not advise people on which coins they should invest in. My guest, SL369, is also not a financial advisor, but a clairvoyant. I look at the astrology indicators of the crypto market based on primarily the Bitcoin astrological chart, and then other prominent crypto coins such as Ethereum. I analyze the transits to the Western astrological charts of Bitcoin, and I also look at the dashas or cycles of the Vedic chart of Bitcoin to get a take on the overall crypto market and of other crypto coins. I did not do any episodes on crypto since early April 2022 because I knew after looking at the astrological indicators that no news was good news. As we say in astrology, don't kill the mercurial messenger. In other words, if you didn't like the crypto news, don't blame someone else. Back in my podcast episodes earlier in 2022, I predicted that April through May would be tough times for crypto as well as the regular stock markets. I attributed this to the erratic eclipse patterns and the influx of planets in the sign Taurus, including the North Node, Sun, Uranus, and Mercury, transiting through that tight-fisted Taurus during April through May of 2022. Also, Pluto went retrograde on April 29th, right before the solar eclipse in Taurus occurred on April 30th, which triggered the tumbling dice of crypto. Good news, everyone. The precursors are here. Get ready for a Bitcoin bounce back. It begins at the Gemini new moon on May 30th, which activates Bitcoin's 10th house of public life and harmonizes with its north node of the moon, indicator of new directions. Also, Jupiter is in Aries now, and it conjuncts the Bitcoin natal moon in June 2022. Exactly on June 3rd, the day Mercury goes direct as well, interestingly enough, through June 14th, the full moon. Jupiter will come back to ignite the Bitcoin Aries moon during September through October 2022. So in early June, we will see rallying in the Bitcoin and crypto markets. Maybe slow and steady, though, as Uranus and Venus are still plodding through Taurus. Big dates to watch for in June are June 14th at the full moon with the sun in Gemini and moon in Sagittarius, and June 22nd when Venus transits into Gemini. In Bitcoin's Western astrological chart, this full moon lights up the Bitcoin 11th house of gain. When Jupiter returns to conjunct the Bitcoin moon in September 2022, it's go, go, go time as Bitcoin takes off through September and October. I also checked out Bitcoin's Vedic chart and its dashas, or cycles, and they concur with Western astrology, with the best time for Bitcoin being from September 23rd through October 16th. Also, August 27th through September 15th is very good. But September is mired in Mercury retrograde that could slow things down. Bitcoin has been running a Rahu subdasha since February 12th, 2022, and it ends on July 17th, 2022. Rahu is a tough energy in Vedic astrology. It's like a demon with only a head, no body. So there's no follow-through. Or it's like a carriage being pulled by several horses, which all want to go in different directions and no one is reining them in. So long story short, while Bitcoin was running the Rahu subdasha since February 2022, all crypto dived down. July 17th looks like a very promising date on the horizon this summer when Bitcoin goes into a Jupiter subdasha and leaves unruly Rahu. More on this later in the episode, but now I want to introduce my guest. My guest is SL369, returning again after a 2-month hiatus from Crypto Podcasts. SL369 is a cryptocurrency clairvoyant who has been channeling visions about cryptocurrency coins since 2018. SL369 has an 80 to 85% accuracy with her crypto visions. SL stands for Starseed and Lightworker. The number 369 was inspired by Nikola Tesla's theory that these numbers are key to the universe. SL369 shares her crypto visions on Telegram, Twitter, and her YouTube channel. SL369 has a very active Patreon site where she shares her crypto dreams and visions daily. Check it out at www.patreon.com/SL369crypto. Her Twitter account is twitter.com/cryptosl369. Her YouTube channel, Google her, www.youtube.com/watch?V equals 9 capital F small x capital A P 2 small c 9 DTC, and her Telegram, which is t.me/SL369crypto. Welcome, SL. Welcome back after a 2-month hiatus. What do you have to share with our listeners today?
Yeah, the market just took a big dump in late April and May. So my spirit guide told me that there'll be a big correction in October. There's a lot more coming. So in terms of astrology, do you see any major date that people should be aware of?
Yeah, so interesting because I do see that, and the word rally is wrong. It's recovery. There's going to be a little recovery here in June. But then it's interesting because does July follow suit? Not necessarily, because the planet Mars is going to go to Taurus. And as we have talked about in the previous podcast, that we saw April and May as being very, very tough months because of the fact of all the Taurian planets and the eclipses that were happening in Taurus and Scorpio. So I do see the date of June 14th as being an interesting date when things can start recovering slowly. And then July, it looked like it could have been really good, but there's too many planets in Cancer, the sign Cancer, which affects people's emotions, people's confidence in the markets. Mars, which is a go-getter, is going really nicely in June in Aries with Jupiter. And I also talked about Jupiter in Aries conjuncting the Bitcoin chart. So we're going to see what we call recovery. Then we have to wait again until August. July feels a little bit almost like, for lack of a better word, numb with the crypto market, meaning not up, not down, just kind of in a holding pattern, but not on the good side. August and September seem like things are going to come back, okay? August, the end of August into September. Let me throw out some dates when people should be paying attention. We've got in August, more than July. July is going to be very interesting because there's not a lot of energy feeding it. But we'll see that there will be a full moon on August 11th and Venus goes into Leo. That could really help crypto. And actually, when Mars finally leaves Taurus on August 20th, that could also help quite a lot. So those dates of the 11th of August and the 20th look really good for the recovery starting to come back.
Okay, I see. And then, do you see the market has any correction in September?
All right, let's talk about what I see. As I said, April and May were going to be bad, and the crash, I did see that coming. Now, mid-June onwards, it's a recovery. And then when we start getting to the end of September, to about the 3rd or 4th of October, there could be a rally. September is going to be interesting because it's Mercury retrograde. So that may not help. And it's Mercury retrograde in Libra. So again, we're going to see the scales going up and down. I think there's going to be a rally, though, at the end of September into early October. And then I would say the correction is coming in October because we're coming into eclipse season again, starting on the 25th. So go 2 weeks before that. That's when there can be a major correction.
I see. So September, the rally, are we talking about a big one or just a relief rally?
You know, I feel like it's going to try to catch up for some of this downtime. Again, one of the reasons is because a lot of people were investing in crypto for the first time and they didn't know what they were getting into. And they expected to make quick cash fast. And so the confidence factor was down. I mean, to be quite transparent here, we're going to have a recession, especially with the regular markets. And it may be that recession that really is quite clear in October and November of 2022 that then later allows crypto to kind of come in and take over as the currency that people are using in December and going forth into 2023. So it's weird that crypto and the regular markets are both basically crashing around the same time, but we saw that with the astrology of Taurus, Scorpio eclipses. So I think crypto may take over when the regular markets start really crashing.
What do you mean by take over?
Well, people will start using that as their currency of exchange. If they've lost their IRA and they've invested in crypto, then they will use those resources. The other thing that we haven't talked about, but like has been coming through to me intuitively, is that NFTs are going to have their day in the sun. It may not be this year, but I think that in the background, NFT is becoming a very viable rate of exchange that we'll see in 2023 and beyond.
Oh, very interesting.
Welcome back. My guest is SL369.
Hi there.
Did you have some questions for me, SL?
So I think you mentioned about August and September.
Yeah. So again, I'm looking at crypto based on the Bitcoin chart, and the cycle from August 27th through September 15th looks really good. And then again, at the end of September, we've got the 25th, which is a new moon in Libra. So we're going to see some balance coming back into the markets. And really through mid-October, there could be a level of rally before that eclipse on the 25th of October. So there may be some good news around that first week in October through about the 10th. So that, I think, will be a good cycle during 2022. Now, again, it's all about bringing confidence back into the market. And unfortunately, the collective situation has been influencing it a lot. And people may wonder why, like, well, the planets are the planets. Yes, they are. But as in a personal chart, it's always about potential. When we're looking at astrology, planetary placements are about potential, both for whether or not you're going to actualize your full potential in your own personal chart, whether it's in your love life or your career or in your financial life. It also affects things such as cryptocurrency. And then it doesn't take into account what is happening with the collective. And although people may not realize that, it does influence the minds of people quite a bit. What you're seeing in the news and what you're seeing about war and shortages and rising prices does take its toll on human consciousness, and they may lose confidence in investing in the market or in crypto. So even though astrology is a science, we have to deal with the world in which we live in, which is affected by other factors. So people have to understand that. And, I always urge people to work on their prosperity consciousness. I have released podcasts on that, which include Sanskrit mantras, as well as how to shift your consciousness with prosperity. So we can use all these tools at this time. But regarding the crypto markets, I do feel like where Bitcoin has been the main indicator of how the market's going to be, I think that's going to change in 2023. I think that there'll be another cryptocurrency that kind of becomes the Apple. We've talked about this in previous podcasts, that, Microsoft held the lead in the computer world back in our other previous time period when there was new innovations and new paradigms coming in, which happened to be the whole computer and internet. And there was a leader, and then that leader became second when Apple came over. So as we've talked in previous podcasts, we're still looking for that Apple in cryptocurrency to come and rise from the ashes of what looks like a failing market.
Do you want to talk about Ethereum?
Sure. So I have Ethereum's chart here, and Ethereum hasn't been getting much love, as most cryptocurrencies, for the last months. But, there's something with the moon of Ethereum is in Capricorn. And Pluto had come over that degree earlier in 2022 in January, and it was trying to help it out. But then it has surpassed the moon. It's going to go back to that placement, believe it or not, in September and October. So this should help Ethereum's chart. Ethereum's been getting a lot of blockages from the way that Saturn's treating its chart. But I do feel like in the fall, when the Saturn moves away and Pluto comes back over the moon, we're going to see a transformation of sorts with Ethereum and all the related coins that have a connection to it. We're going to see them starting to gather some speed. And so it's been a reboot and recoup time for all crypto, having to endure this crash and these down cycles. But out of the ashes, we will see the phoenix of certain coins rising as we go into 2023. And again, there is a time period in September through early October that looks so much better than what we've been going through. And if we want to look at the summer is a little bit, no big crashes, but no big rallies either. Just sort of like a little inching up. And then we may see some action after the August full moon on the 11th.
Is full moon normally market go doing well?
Well, there seems to be turbulence usually around the full moon, either 3 days before and a couple days after. So we use the indicator of after the full moon. Full moons are always erratic because of the lunar energy disturbing the force.
Can we talk a little about Shiba? Can you see where it's going for the summer and into October?
Yeah, I mean, Shiba's having a dark night of the soul because its wounded healer teacher, Chiron, the wound of Shiba has just been amplified because Jupiter's gone on it, and that's going on this summer. I don't see such good things for Shiba, unfortunately, this summer. It's always been one of our favorites, but unfortunately, this chironic wound has really showed up strongly, and it's in a bit of a dissipating cycle. specifically June 1st through July 28th could be a little tough for Shiba, but it's probably going to be, again, a phoenix rising from the ashes. It looks like there may be some shifts and changes for Shiba. It's not going to be a lost cause, and it looks like it's going to be in a good place by next year. But in the meantime, some dates going forward when we may see Shiba getting resuscitated and getting some life back would be, well, early September looks good. And then again, we see the gains coming back from September 27th to about October 9th. Then it looks like there's a whole recalibration with Shiba, so it can be reborn in 2023.
What month in 2023?
February 2023. It goes into a different cycle. So SL, what words of wisdom can you share with our listeners? Do you have any suggestions on how to weather these times?
So from now into October, there's not a lot of opportunity for people to make like big gains like last year, last April, last May. So the people who are making money in this market are actually the day trader or people who know TA and they're very good at it. They either
For our listeners who might not know what TA is, you and I know what it is, but just for my listeners who may not be part of your group.
Technical analysis. These people chart the different coin. They look at a chart and then they look at use different indicators and predicts where the coin is going or moving.
So past performance, they kind of use that as an indicator of its cycle or how it cycles through things?
Yes. So my spirit guide told me about a month or two ago that the JPY will have a significant drops. Right now, the JPY is at 0.012. It will drop roughly about 85%. They didn't tell me when, but they have alerted me this. Just like when they told me persistent will drop to below $2. I'm waiting for the 87 cents. I think we can see that price probably in October when we have a major crash. So it takes some time, but that's what I have for Digibyte. So in October, the market has eclipse. And also this year, we in the 7 years, something called Smither. And every 7 years, the market had major crash. The last Smither was 2015, the Asia stock market crash. And then September 2008, the financial stock market crash. September 2011, we had September 11 crash. So it has been, so every 7 years,
right,
the market had major resets, the crash. So it's something that a lot of people don't talk about. I just realized that a few months ago that we are in the 7 years.
Right. And if I want to throw in an astrological correlate to that we're going to have eclipses again in the signs of Scorpio and Taurus, which started last November. And those are the money signs. And again, I had been saying all along, the Taurian eclipses were not going to be favorable for any of the markets, crypto or the stock market. And October 25th, November 8th, very, very tough financial days. So people can decide what they want to do with this information. We're not here to tell you what to do. We just want to let you know that October and November 2022, astrologically and in other forecasting techniques, doesn't look so good. So due diligence. Take that information and do what you will with it. Hello, everyone. I have some exciting news. I am a co-author in a book entitled Overcoming Mediocrity, Limitless Women. Here is a link to download a free copy for yourself. Small B-I-T dot small ly / capital OMLW11. This will all be written in the show notes as well. In the book, Jill Jardine, Masters in Counseling Psychology, shares her journey navigating the mundane and spiritual worlds. She recounts her vivid near-death experiences, NDEs, which contributed to her awakening to pursue her soul calling in this life. Jill's unusual path, forged with her traditional advanced education, combined with healing certifications and spiritual initiations, prepared her for working with counseling clients and as a teacher in the self-actualization movement. Jill facilitates her clients with various modalities and in unique ways so that they evolve into their own soul powers and become self-actualized and empowered. Get your free copy of Overcoming Mediocrity, Limitless Women at bit.ly / capital OM as in Mary LW11. I hope you enjoyed this episode, Crypto Post Ecliptic, where we're back talking about cryptocurrency in the summer of 2022 with my guest, SL369. Remember to subscribe to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, download, share, and give us a 5-star review, sending healing cryptocurrency currents through the quantum field. Da!